Welcome back, my delinquents. Today we have a case, a bunny on bunny report, as this is a bunny VTuber, of a VTuber that was chased off the internet, or specifically just Twitter, for their terribly bad take, I would say, but I guess you could call it a hot take. And we're just going to go over this. It starts off with someone asking, what is everyone's VTubing hot take? And this person gives such a terribly unpopular hot take that literally the entire VTuber community gets mad at them. And they make a retort, which is not great. And then it continues to get worse. And I'm not sure what happens in between here, but they apparently leave the internet. Air quotes, leave the internet. And I'll say at the end if they come back or not, but if you've paid attention to these stories, you know no one can stay away from the internet. That sweet, sweet internet. But let's go over what actually happened, seeing I gave you a gist of what's happening here, and what actually caused them to leave the internet. And were people justified in the hate? Let's get into it. We are in the case room yet again, and we're going to start off with this post, and it is a screenshot because they have restricted their account. I think at some point they turned off their account, but they just have it restricted right now, so I can't go straight to the source. Okay, so pin mun, but let's start with Haru's with what they're asking. Give me your most controversial opinion about VTubers that will have you like this. Might as well interact with the new peeps coming in from the unintentional hit tweet. And then Pinpon replies with that anyone who says they're in this for fun and not for success/money is a liar and trying to farm humble clout. Just be honest, being successful at this hobby you love would be fucking cool, and every time you go live you hope for that. As you can see, calling everyone a liar, it's antagonistic. See, when you make antagonistic posts, you're going to antagonize people. And just a cut over to later, they try and make it seem that it's a sharpshooter, a truth sayer or something, and they just have harsh opinions, which doesn't really help. But if you have harsh opinions, you're going to get harsh retorts. That's how it is. And that's why I always say in these stories, if you're going to be a person that has a lot of hot takes or antagonistic, you have to expect people to give their own harsh retorts. Because that's kind of how it works. It's the same with you're going to be a troll. People are going to hate on you because you're trolling. That's how it is. Before we get into more of that, the hate they got afterwards, let's break down this. If you say you're in this for fun and not for success/money, you're a liar. See, this is a strange thing because I think you can be in it for both fun and success, money, whatever. I think if you're streaming and it's not fun for you, you're really in the wrong line of work because it's not the kind of job you really want to do if it's not fun, realistically. But that is coming from a person. I find it very difficult to do things that I just don't enjoy. I'm very stubborn like that. And I'd have to say, yes, I make a little bit of money. I could definitely make so much more if I just went and got a normal job, as a lot of basic creators. And the thing is, expecting to make a lot of money and success isn't realistic. So if you go into content creation with realism in mind, you have to be aware that most of the time the fun and the enjoyment of the job has to be enough too, because most likely you're gonna, at best, make enough to get by. So I think this is just a misguided idea of people only go into it for fame, but lots of people grind for years without not even the inch of fame because they just enjoy it. And yeah, probably some people are just wanting kudos on the back saying, yeah, I'm rich and famous. Some of them are saying the truth, some of them are lying. Who knows? But realistically, you can't put a label on an entire group of people saying, oh, you all must be lying because I don't feel like that, because that's just not how it is. Like, I personally find it hard to do things that I don't find fun, but some people will grind through it because they see the outcome as something important to them. And that's enough for them. Everyone is different. But this part, being successful at this hobby you love would be freaking cool. Yeah, duh. Anyone would love their passion to also just pay the bills and then still get to enjoy it. That's the dream. That's lots of people's dream. Doesn't connect to the first one saying they're liars if they say they do it for fun. Because what is the point if it's not fun? You could be doing any other job that's way more consistent. And I think that's why this response comes off very antagonistic to a lot of people. And they got the response they got. This really started to pop off when Camila the Clown VTuber responded. Well, at least that's when it started to pop off when I first saw it. Nice job adding yourself to a community like this. A lot of us started VTubing without any intent of making it big or receiving any money from it. I started VTubing because I was incredibly bored during the pandemic. Everyone has their own reasons. This is so disrespectful. I would say yeah, everyone has their reasons. Like I started off as an art streamer, not a VTuber, and I still do art more personal now than before, but I did it because I lacked confidence in everything I did, and I was very aware of it because I didn't want to show my art to anyone, and I had no confidence, and that's why I started streaming on Twitch to like 2 people, and I streamed to under 5 people for like a year, is because I wanted to be less afraid of things. And I feel like I've succeeded at that, yeah. But I became a VTuber because I really just hated showing my face. I hated that part of it, and it made me a lot shyer. And I really enjoyed the privacy that came from VTubing, but also the creativity that came from it. And so there's a lot of different reasons people become VTubers or streamers, and it's not just one thing. Like, we've done stories where people became VTubers because of their disability. They became VTubers because they had to, because they stream at home and they don't want to show people's faces, etc. Or they're paranoid and don't want people to find where they live. There is so many reasons, and not all of them are success. There are a lot of reasons, and you just can't pile it all together, especially seeing it comes off as such a self-report. If you think everyone does that, you're kind of admitting you do that because you're saying everyone does it. It's kind of like those dudes that say, all guys do XYZ, and you're just like, homie, no, we don't. Don't bring me and you together, okay? That's not right. You know, like they're trying to excuse what they do, but realistically, that's just them. That's just them doing that. And I'm not saying there's not some VTubers or streamers that are in it just for the money. Yeah, there definitely is, but there's a lot that isn't too. So you can't like just paint everyone the same color. But then we're going to go on into the beginning of the hate wave. So the disagreement started here, and we're going to just have to look at the replies here because from people like following it down. Yeah, we got some booba because all her stuff has been taken down. Oh, privated. And she got a lot of responses here. And this started like with the basic disagreement. This is, I don't think from what I witnessed, this isn't where the real like bullying and hate began. This was started off with disagreement. Yikes, you disagree on this. And I gotta say, just because 90% of you all do this to try and make it big and monetize it doesn't mean everyone is. To protect onto others, this is kind of crazy. Yeah, especially seeing people's money needs are very different. Like, I need to pay for myself because I don't have that much family, but a lot of people just live at home, so the money isn't as important. The varying amounts of the money factor based on their needs. And that's the thing. And you can also think, oh, it would be cool to pop up. It doesn't mean that it's the only reason you're doing it. But, and I'm just showing the level that I can find of some of the responses. I would say a lot of them disagreed with them. This is all I can find at the moment. The easiest way, because their posts have been deleted. And we can also see on Camille's post into this. And I just wanted to highlight kind of how the tides were going before this response, because honestly, in my opinion, this is when the tides turn quite badly for them. And I don't think this is the only post, because so when they started getting some backlash, they decided to double down. Also, y'all, I'm autistic. I mean, this is an exact, not in intent. I'm only doing this for fun type personas are still happy to collect a check from viewers. We continue to collect even more if they had it. Living off your hobby is the dream, ain't it? Be honest, is all uwu. I don't know if they completely misrepresented themselves, and you can say it's like, yeah, making money off what you like is great, but their first part does not say that, and I think they're missing the point of what people were trying to say. And it would have been fine if they just misconstrued this, but after this post, which I haven't been able to find the screenshot, I know bad officer didn't screenshot, they also say, oh, sorry if I phrase this wrong, I'm just an asshole, or I'm just mean, or something. They literally just say, well, teehee, I'm just mean. And it's like, bro, just admit that's not what you meant to say. Instead of like dancing around it and saying, no, I was still actually right with what I'm trying to say. Just say, oh, that I didn't mean it in that way. I meant it connected with the, you're not just doing it for fun. You can be doing it for fun, but you also will have money. But the reason why people cash the checks of their viewers is because to be able to content create full-time, you do need to make some money. It's impossible not to do it. You can do it part-time and work, but you can't do it full-time. Because we all need to survive. We all need to feed ourselves. Yeah, that is a factor for a lot of people. But most people, I feel, because a lot of people don't understand the things you kind of have to deal with. If you don't enjoy some aspect of the job, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. And that's the thing. What people enjoy is very different, but they usually enjoy something about it. Unless, no, they're just in it for clout and money, but I guess they enjoy the clout, right? And I would have to say, this is when the tides really start turning and they start getting bullied more. And they turn off / lock their account. They were streaming the same day, so I don't think it was as dramatic as they ran off the internet. It's more of a, I did a controversial take, I'm getting too much heat, so I protect my account until it cools down and people forget about me. That is like a very common tactic with like extreme opinions, because people will forget about you. The internet moves quick. It's like that. It's so quick. But the thing is, I can't say how much she was bullied because I didn't actually see so much of that part other than people responding to her. But a lot of people came out after she turned off the internet saying the VTuber community was bullying her and had chased another person off the internet, which I can't fully contest to because I didn't see those ones because she had already turned off her account. And then there's some people just saying, well, she gave a hot take. They asked for a hot take and they got a hot take. They couldn't take the smile. But I would say her response is probably the thing that got her the most hate there. I'm not sure if she got DMs or harassments or stuff like that. Again, don't have access to her account right now, so we can't really see. But if they did, I don't condone that at all. This is fine. Disagreements is fine. Disagreeing with people is fine. It's natural. Doesn't mean you have to sneak into DMs and to harass people if that's where that actually went. And a lot of people pointing out that, like, with their tweets, their wording's not correct. Here's some more saying being autistic is an excuse, which I agree with as someone who has like a couple of autistic nieces and nephews. It's not an excuse, it's an explanation. And that's the same with mental health and everything. It's explanation, not an excuse. And I deeply agree with Psyche here because, okay, this is kind of how it felt too for me. I started streaming because people never listened to me in real life because I was the quiet girl. So I finally had a chance to yap and talk and people actually want to know what I say. That was one of the reasons I also wanted to gain confidence because I was always felt like people didn't listen to me either. But also the fact that I had been told by a couple guys that I talked to in friend groups saying I wasn't funny or I shouldn't talk so much. And that always made me very nervous to talk. And I wanted to try and get past that. And you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them, guys. But like, it was something I was trying to get over. And that's one of the reasons I streamed. And Psyche's really just hit home. It's like, oh, I felt that. I felt that, bro. But I don't think anything too hot of a take here. Like in the replies, maybe they were getting some in DMs. And I would say like sometimes communities do just dogpile a bit too much. But I do think, especially seeing they doubled down, they needed to hear that a lot of people disagreed with their wording and disagreed with their statement in general. And I think it's always a good lesson to learn on how to express yourself, but also admit when you're wrong, because it is important to admit when you're wrong and when things don't come across the way you wanted it to. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. And I feel like if she would have went more into her reply of like actually explaining more of where she went wrong in her explanation, other than the I'm actually right, uwu, and not really explaining the point that actually pissed people off, kinda didn't help her at all. I'm gonna leave it at that, my delinquents, as that's kind of the whole story. And though I don't have the last bit of the details here, I think we can, you know, not condone bullying, but it's fine to voice your opinions in a civil manner. And if you voice your opinions, you have to expect people to voice them back. That's how the world works. And I hope Pinbun did learn something from this situation, and so did other people in this back and forth discourse. Not every shoe fits the same person exactly. People are different. We all have our different reasons and we all have our different experiences. And also saying, well, I'm just mean in the way I talk is not a good defense, guys. That actually just makes you look worse. I'm just gonna help you there. They're not good defenses. You have to know how to explain yourself in a way that isn't dickish, okay? It's always a good skill to learn, my brothers and my ladies. But I'm gonna leave you like that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell. Don't forget to check out the Patreon if you want to see videos ahead, anime behind the scenes reacts, and all that fun stuff. I'll catch you next time, and I'll see you soon.